Hello, my name is Kieren Rudge. I'm a graduate student at the Yale School of Environment, and today I will be presenting about the analyzing of reporting of climate change and economic development in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So this is an important problem because climate change will have significant impacts on small island developing states, such as those in the Caribbean, and stressors of economic development compound climate change threats. This is the case in the U.S. Virgin Islands, which is a territory experiencing economic development and one that has made bold plans to invest in a green economy to become more resilient. The study focused on local news reporting to understand discourse around the issues of climate change and economic development, and also what community engagement in planning and the sharing of knowledge around these issues looks like. So to start on the objectives and methods, why is a discourse analysis of news important? It's crucial to have an informed public that knows about the threats they'll be facing, as well as for opportunities to engage in planning for solutions. Also, the amount of reporting on specific issues and the ways that news outlets present them correlates to public awareness and views on these issues. This is valuable decision-making data because the data can inform future policies based on gaps in knowledge and different narratives existing in the public mind and media. The research questions used to investigate these issues were quantitatively, how frequently are these issues being written about together? And qualitatively, how or what narratives are being presented when these issues are being written about together. The methods to understand this, I looked at the top 3 news sources in the US Virgin Islands using search terms such as climate change, economic development, and many others via an application programming interface to scrape and download the articles, and then analyze overlaps in the articles using the multiple search terms, and from there took a sample of 65 articles to qualitatively analyze to see the narratives and themes that came up. To start with some of the quantitative results, as you can see, there's significant overlap between economic development and climate change. In articles mentioning these issues, there is 124. There's some overlap between economic development and community engagement at 38, and virtually no overlap with climate change and community engagement, with only 3 articles. So this is important to keep in mind, just the amounts that these different issues are overlapping as I get into the more qualitative results about the narratives. So the bolded narratives are narratives that came up in greater than 50% of the sampled articles. The most common ones being climate change is a threat, economic development is needed, economic development should incorporate sustainability practices, and community engagement should be a priority in economic development planning. You can see in the gray some of the ones that weren't available in greater than 50% of the samples, and therefore were given less priority in the media. So some final takeaways based on the qualitative and quantitative results of this study. Overlaps exist between these 3 issues, but discourse on integrated planning is not a common narrative. For policy implications, government needs to work to present integrated solutions that tackle climate change, community engagement, and economic development together, not as disjointed problems. And these solutions are necessary to create a more resilient island. And lastly, community engagement needs to be prioritized or at least covered more in the press so that public can engage equitably with climate change planning and not just economic development planning in order to prepare for major challenges of the future. Thank you.